think we're live now.
All right, I got Wi-Fi again. I think we're happening. And all right, if we're live, I don't see us on D Live yet. Maybe we've got to refresh or something. Is there anybody out there?
Should be on D Live.
Oh, yeah, we are. All right, folks. Well, this is the Canuck and Yankee show. And for those of you tuned in last week, you kind of already know about this, but we're going to be configuring the Canuck and Yankee show for the summer because we know everybody's pretty busy on the weekends, playing gigs or going to festivals or whatever you have, working in the yard. So we're going to be doing specials throughout the summer, and it's been a really good run for the every Sunday except for maybe two since last July, which is almost a year ago now. We've been on the air, and we've covered a lot of subjects. We've covered international military configurations, and we've covered a lot of crypto. We've covered internet security, privacy issues. We've covered Bizarro. What do you think, Yankee? Bizarro is still my favorite, definitely, of all the stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did a review of all the Bizarro for 2021.
That's a wonderful link.
January.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite show of all on what we got going on here with the Canuck and Yankee show features, definitely. So yeah, today we're just going to do a quick show, kind of wrap things up. You know, there's a lot of different aspects to media these days. The whole thing is changing, and we're trying to stay ahead of the game, with the wave, in the wave, so to speak, with live streaming and the live streaming community. And everybody has different opinions on what major news organizations are doing, but it seems to me that the Yankee and I have a certain consensus, and correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of it's controlled by large third party interests, you know, whether they be corporations or people with a political agenda. And that, what do you think, Yankee, with mainstream news or what you call lamestream news? Like, what do you think the biggest problem with them is, you know, other than
It's controlled by just a few mega corporations. There's too much now. Now you're seeing, executive branch working with media, with TikTok, working with influencers. There's a Ministry of Truth now.
Ministry of Truth?
Yeah, there's a woman who, what's her name? Janika Jankowski. What is her name?
The Ministry of Truth.
Yeah, I don't know why they're naming it that.
It sounds like a heavy metal band, man.
But Ministry. Let's go under news.
Oh my gosh.
Sends us the Ministry of Truth. Yeah, what's this woman's name? So it's Joe Biden's newly formed Disinformation Governance Board. Well, people are comparing it to a Ministry of Truth while eviscerating his new thought cop in a chief. But it's it's the new Disinformation Governance Board, headed by Nina Jankowski.
This is a federal government thing?
Yeah. And it seems to be a direct reaction to Musk buying Twitter. Like
Really?
they they weren't happy with that, and then, but it seems like this was in the works. It's possible they started. I mean, they wanted something like this anyway, and then when Musk moved as fast as he did to take Twitter. So where we're at now, Twitter is, if Musk reninges or doesn't get, if he screws up, he's got to pay Twitter $1 billion. If Twitter rejects his buyout, then they have to pay him $1 billion, Musk $1 billion. So they're gonna.
What do you mean when they share? Because if shareholders have to vote on it or something, what's the big holdup now for him getting Twitter?
Yeah, the shareholders have to vote on it.
I see. They'll probably vote yes, won't they? I mean,
yeah, if they don't vote yes, their stock will tumble even more.
Yeah.
And they'll have to pay $1 billion to Musk directly.
And he's offering $8 over market value, isn't he, per share?
Yeah, around there. It's around $45 a share.
Well, that's a
maybe
no-brainer. Well, okay, now 54. This guy, we've covered Elon's quite a bit in the last 8 months, whatever it's been since July. And okay, what WTF basically? What do you think he's going to do with Twitter? I mean, like he bought Twitter. That's like a big thing, isn't it? Like a large, they got like 1 billion users or something.
No, they've got around 250 million users.
Oh.
Well, which is still decent, but
Well, I wonder if he's going to do something with it, because I've been getting, now I'm on the mailing list. Not only am I getting Donald Jr., Trumpy boy, I'm getting, what did I just get? I got like a whole pile of stuff. Marjorie Green Taylor, I'm on her Twitter now, and on some other person like that. I think, the guy, I actually checked this, but the guy from North Carolina that's in all kinds of trouble, Mark Crawford or whatever his name, Madison.
Mark Crawford?
Madison something or other. You remember? Anyway, Twitter, I mean, it's just all messed up because I'm not associated with Nancy Green Taylor or whatever her name is, Marjorie Green Taylor. So I wonder if he's going to do something about that.
Well, another thing that Musk says he's going to try to do is determine what's a bot and what's a human. It's basically, get rid of all of the bots that traverse Twitter and wreak all kind of havoc. So, I mean, there's CAPTCHA technology that Google has. It's pretty transparent. You don't have to do any kind of user interaction, but not sure how well that will work. He could start asking for public identifiable information, government. I mean, your website, possibly your driver's license, crazy stuff like that to try to.
What to be on Twitter?
Yeah.
Give me your driver's license number.
Well, I don't think they go to that, but I'm just saying.
I'm really getting confused here.
The point is, they're going to try to. Musk is going to try to verify and make sure that the user is human, not a bot.
Yeah, of course. I see what you mean. Well, do you think some of these messages I'm getting are from bots and not actually from Donald Jr.? I think they are, the way they read and everything. I'm just wondering why I'm getting this stuff, because I'm like a freaking draft dodger, for crying out loud. Those people don't like me.
Well, you gotta go through your follow list and.
Oh, I think
Double
it's
check it.
hilarious. I like it. I mean, I'm really glad these people care about me and they're communicating with me. And it's nice to know what they have to say. No, I think it's great. I think that Don Sr., the King Trump is going to get back on Twitter. Well, Elon's bless him back into Twitter. You care to make a prediction on that?
I would imagine he's gonna come back on. I need to look something up. Actually, I wanted to hold on a second here. Because there was something, Musk was doing something on Twitter already with regards to Trump's Truth Social app. So Trump released that iOS only, iPhone, iOS devices only app called Truth Social. So let me see.
Yeah,
well, Elon Musk's Twitter takeover means for Trump's Truth Social.
Well, Trump wasn't using Truth Social himself. Like, what's he expect people to do? The guy's not. He builds the thing and then he doesn't use it. Like, I don't know.
Well, no, I think he finally actually posted on his own app. I'm trying to find some. Nice? This is Thursday.
Like, did Trump fly on Trump Airlines? Probably not. Did he eat Trump steaks? Maybe not. Did he drink Trump wine? No, he doesn't drink. Does he use his social network? No. This guy's got a personality flaw. Oh, by the way, I want to congratulate the Canuck and Yankee show organization that we went to 8 months and we never discussed Donald Trump in depth anyway, or COVID. We didn't even mention it. But we can today because it's the last show if we want. We won't get banned or nothing, will we?
Probably.
Now, on the Ministry of Truth, this one's got me going, man, because I always get nervous when these things come along. Is it part of the Justice Department, the FCC?
It's the part of the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh, no.
Disinformation governance.
Oh, Department of Homeland Security. That's a new kid on the block relatively to the old school FBI and CIA.
Now, Trump is saying he's going to stay on his Truth Social and not go back to Twitter. So what has Trump said about Musk buying Twitter? Blah, blah. He says, Trump told Fox News, regardless of Musk's takeover, he will not return to Twitter after being permanently banned due to the risk of further incitement of violence following January 6th. Former president said he will instead remain on Truth Social, a free speech-centric platform he created last fall. He states, quote, "I am not going on Twitter. I am going to stay on Truth." Trump said the day of the deal was announced. I hope Elon buys Twitter because he'll make improvements to it, and he is a good man, but I'm going to be staying on Truth. I don't know. It's just I don't get that.
No.
I mean, obviously, he's saying he's going to stay on Truth Social because he wants.
He wants them to beg him to come back.
He wants people to go to Truth Social. The problem is you can only do it on iOS.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous. They don't even have a web presence or Android. You're an Android developer. Why don't you give Donnie a call? Tell him you'll hook him up.
All right.
No.
Disinformation governance. Let me see what else I can find here. So, DHS created disinformation governance team. Okay. So I've got 2 articles in the Washington Times, one from the National Review. DHS created disinformation governance team to track election misinformation. This was posted when? It was posted April 28th of this just a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Department of Homeland Security created a disinformation board led by a woman who has criticized First Amendment rights and dismissed troubling reports of Hunter Biden's laptop as a Trump campaign ploy. Nina Jankowicz has been on the job for a couple months, but Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas only revealed the disinformation board's existence this week in testimony to Congress. So, like I was saying, they were already building this up. This is already was happening behind the scenes, but of course, when Musk took Twitter, did the buyout plan, everybody was saying this is their reaction. But I think what really happened was this was already in the works, and now with Musk being aggressive with the Twitter buyout, they're stating publicly now, what they've been up to.
Mm-hmm.
So this has all been happening behind the scenes with this Disinformation Governance Board and Department for Homeland Security. And now the cat's out of the bag because of what Musk has done with the Twitter buyout.
I see. Right. Well, we'll follow that.
So just wanted to do a little bit more. Homeland Security described the board's expansive duties. This is the Disinformation Governance Board, saying it will combat the wide swath of disinformation. In the immediate term, it will focus on disinformation surrounding Russia's invasion of Ukraine and on the messaging smuggling groups are peddling to would-be illegal immigrants, the department said. But the broad scope of its purview and the appointment of Ms. Jankowicz as its lead have raised questions about the board.
Well, I mean, it's a nice concept, okay? Disinformation is destructive and everything, but I mean, are you going to trust the Homeland Security Department to decide what? I mean, I don't want to degenerate the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, DHS, or any of those people because. But I would, they do have their own agendas, definitely.
Everybody's Joe from.
It's censorship. It goes back to the constant underlying theme that we've been having since we started about censorship of information. I mean, I hear information all the time that I do not agree with. I mean, I get tweets from Nancy Green Taylor. I don't agree with her. I have a friend who's gone over to the other side, a client even. I won't mention his name, but he saw this video and now he's convinced that the earth is flat. So I mean, I hear all kinds of things I don't agree with, but I want to hear them. And I think that's one of the problems with censorship.
Now,
Frank Zappa.
She's the new woman of the head of the Disinformation Governance Board likes to sing, and she has a ministry of cringe.
Is she got a band?
Kringle. I'm gonna get it loaded up here.
Is she on YouTube?
Well, she's on TikTok. So I'm going to be streaming it. It's a video posted to YouTube, but it's a TikTok video that she posted.
Oh my God!
And
okay.
I want you to get ready for this because.
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to see if I got any fentanyl. Oh, here's some. Okay.
You have something you can take to ease the pain because this is going to be painful.
Okay. Well, let me get set up so I can watch it on D Live here. Oh boy! All right, we're going in, folks. You've seen it first on the Canuck and Yankee shoe.
Are you gonna have another pair of headphones?
Well, I can't hear the audio through these, so I have to listen to the D Live feed.
All right, so you know what?
I can hear you both.
Can we? I mean, we could do Jitsi.
No, don't worry about it. This works all the time. It's just delayed 5 seconds.
All right.
That's what I always do.
All right, here she is.
Here she is.
I'm not sure if I get the whole jingle here. It's hopefully I get most of it. Let's see what happens. Just gonna make sure the volume's
Oh, there she
up.
is. Yeah.
But this is the Ministry of Disinformation Governance. The Disinformation Czar, Nina Jankowicz.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So let's see.
Dude, and I thought I was gonna be able to sleep tonight.
All right, the song's really fast. She goes really fast. So you ready? It's not that long. Well, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so check it out.
Laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
That's now
That's it. There we go. That's Janet Jankowicz, the new leader of
You better post a
under
link.
the Department of Homeland Security Disinformation Governance.
No, she's working for the government?
Yeah, on disinformation.
No, listen, this is not right. There's something really... All right, wait a minute. Hang on just a second. United States of America. Oh, yeah. I kept forgetting about what country I was thinking about. Of course, it's... Man, America's got some of the strangest things going on. I just don't know what to say. All right, well, let's move on to something. Anything. I know I've lost my mind. What are you doing this summer? You gonna hang out and mine crypto all summer? Or are you going to the lake? Or you got plans, dude?
I'm at the lake already.
Oh, you're at the lake. So am I, actually. I'm at the lake. Oh, that's the thing.
Jankowicz. I just want to get this thing posted. We'll go back to... Well, I was just going to put Janet. Well, I've got some workstation rigs. I've got a second rig coming up and a third one behind that, hopefully. But I don't know what I think. I've been mining Ethereum. I've been mining Ethereum Classic and Ergo, and I'm gonna start experimenting with Flux and whatever else. But so Ethereum is going to proof of stake. When that happens, there'll be a difficulty bomb. Like the really hard one will eventually hit to a point where you can't mine it anymore. Or it's going to get so difficult that only the dedicated async miners and certain dedicated GPUs can only are only worthwhile mining on. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of unknowns with that for the next few months, but I'll figure that out. I've got to figure out solar. I got to look into installing solar panels. I've been looking at Blue Yeti now. So whenever whenever you search for something on Google and then you go on YouTube, Google's got your whole search history by IP address. Doesn't even have to be the same linked by your account. And so once you start searching for something, so I started searching for Blue Yeti. Now that's all I get is these Blue Yeti commercials. I don't know if you've seen these, but they've got these new units. They can do 2,000 watts. They're backup units, so they can do 2,000 watts. You can couple two of them together and get around the 4,000, 4,500 watt range. And you can use them in your house, or they kind of make it set up for camping. But I really want to look at it, see if I can have it as like a backup, to a backup. I don't know what I'll be able to do battery wise with the solar panels, but
that's the big expense.
I could put. They also run. They come with their own solar panels. So what I could do is if I can get the solar panels done, that'd be great, and I'd have my main power done, and then I can experiment with these Blue Yetis for just mining. If I could get enough of them in arrays, because I think you can detach them and reattach them live. You couple them together, detach them, as long as you have enough power for what you're doing at that moment. So if I start collecting these and kind of just have my own main source of power for mining,
definitely.
It really helped me departmentalize how I get billed.
Well, you want to do that. I mean, everybody should do that. I would like to do that too. I don't have the dough to do it, and my exposure isn't as good as it could be because I'm in the mountains. But definitely, seeing how you're using an inordinate amount of electricity, it's the environmentally correct thing to do. But more importantly,
the 2,000 watt one, I think you can get it with solar panel for around 200, maybe $2,500 or something like that.
Yeah, the thing is, the panels, but the batteries is the catch. The more batteries you have, because you can also charge your batteries off of if you're worried about power outages, off the grid, you can charge the batteries as well, depending on how the system's doing. And then, of course, if you want to integrate it to your house, that's a huge expense because you got to bring in certified electricians and all of that nifty stuff. So unless your solar system's completely independent of the house, you're looking at probably a bunch of thousands of dollars to get it integrated to the house and then integrated to the grid. So that's a big expense too. A lot of people, they just look at the solar panels, which are relatively inexpensive, but then you've got to get batteries, which are as expensive or more. And if you want to hook it up to your house directly, you got to hire a certified electrician, and depending on your panel, it'll cost you X amount of money. I was going to put in a propane backup generator system, and they quoted me $5,000 to integrate it to the house system, and so I bailed. And the generator was only $3,000. So beware. Now, my big expense at my house is it's an old house, and the wiring is good, but it's a little creative as far as because we've got two different panels. So anyway, that's my take on the solar thing, but that's good. I got a whole bunch of live engagements coming up next month. Happy May Day, by the way, International Workers' Day. The kids around the maypole. You got that going on in Connecticut there? You got the kids dancing around the maypole today?
No, it's not happening. No,
not. They got rid of that, eh? May Day. I was thinking this morning, with the state of everything, economy and war and everything, I think May Day, like, if you're in an airplane, you're flying it and you go, May Day, May Day, right? So I think this is May Day, like I'm crying May Day. Anyway, back to what I was going to talk about next month, hosting, or not hosting, but part of a big music extravaganza here in the area. A guy named Johnny Tornado is having a big gathering of the great musicians of Vancouver, rock era musicians, and he's going to have 4 stages going. I have no idea. I have a meeting with him later. Why? Yeah, but Johnny's crazy and he's going to do it. He's opening a new hotel there in Slocan City, British Columbia. Slocan City, I think, has a population of about 230 people or something. But it's a city. That's a small city, eh? 230 people in a city.
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I got the Castle Jazz Festival the end of July, a bunch of other stray gigs, so things are happening. Being a professional musician, I enjoy that. And going on a road trip next week, and I think if everything goes right, Yankee, I think we can stream at least 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 live sessions of musicians down there. I know my friend Peter Barbario, he makes auto harps, and he'd love to stream him playing auto harp. I think that'd be fun. There's a guy named Ty who plays really nice slide acoustic guitar. I think we could stream him. And then I don't know if she'll go for it, but there's a girl named Ellie Nuno, who's a world-class fiddle player. She's been on tour with just about everybody, and she lives in Missoula. Real nice woman. So that's something to look forward to. Might stream a few other things. Unfortunately, we're going to stream an interview and maybe a session with one of the greatest drummers in rock and roll history, Mr. Rick Parnell. But unfortunately, Rick is not in very good shape right now. He may be near the end of his road, so send our blessings out. And in case you don't know who Rick Parnell was, he was the drummer in Spinal Tap, and also if you watch the Canuck and Yankee show, it's the myself and Rick playing the music that we've been using for the last bunch of months in the intro. So it's pretty sad. He's a really good friend of mine, and definitely one of the greatest rock and roll drummers in history. So hats off to Rick. And so unfortunately, we won't be. I think I'll be able to visit him if he's still around, but I don't think it'd be appropriate to try to stream it. However, that's all happening in the next week, 10 days. I leave here on Friday of this week, and first road trip to Montana in 2.5 years. And I lived down there for a fair period and fairly recently, and got a lot of friends. But Uncle COVID kind of shut things down. You were affected by that? The shutdown. Are they unshutting things down there? We're getting all unshut down up here. What's going on down there?
Yeah. I mean, they've
restrictions.
No more lockdowns. No. They got rid of vaccine passport. In New York
we
City.
did too.
But there's still they're still arguing over children, really young children, like 5 months old or whatever, to 5 years, and masks.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have to do this thing called ArriveCAN before I come back to Canada, and because I'm all vaccinated up, it's just a procedure, but I have to go through this app and register 72 hours and tell them what border crossing I'm going across and tell them when I was vaccinated and get this thing. So but otherwise the border is reasonably open if you want to visit Canada, but you got to do this ArriveCAN thing. And if you're not vaccinated, it's a real hassle. So it's like not everything is getting unrestricted, but enough that we're having festivals again. But apparently some places in the world, like China in particular, they got some serious lockdowns over there, don't they? Still?
Shanghai has been on lockdown. Over 25 million people on lockdown.
Really?
Yeah. It's gotten pretty bad. I think they're starting to lighten. They're starting to lighten up the lockdowns, but I think there's that guy Lau 86 or whatever on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He did a really good stream on his take on that, and he believes it's because there was the guy that led the Chinese Communist Party before Xi Jinping.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the Shanghai Gang.
Oh yeah.
Recent leaders, CCP. His name. Oh, they got this all the way backwards. That's not cool. What his name was, Xing Zemin, this guy. And I'll post him in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, Yang Zemin, I'm probably completely butchering his name. So he was part of one of the Shanghai Gang, and was really, more focused on when he was running the ship, was it that from 1989 to 2002? He was running the show,
right?
And he, just wanted to make Shanghai wealthier, and
they were doing really good.
Everybody in his posse. So
yeah, they were doing really good.
And then Hu came in. Jintao came in for a little bit in 2002. Did he really go for that long? 2002 to 2012, and he was more communist. About the distributing the wealth to people, at least giving that impression. And then after 2012, 15th November, that's when Xi Jinping took power.
I see.
But Xi Jinping was somewhat part of the Shanghai Gang, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
But Lau 86's take on it is that he's punishing Shanghai because they never really Shanghai's never really followed the the communist line of things.
Yeah, they've got that sense of independence to a certain extent.
Yeah, the very, very Western Shanghai.
Yeah.
So it doesn't operate like most areas of mainland China.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's also possible that and this is even more malevolent, but that CCP's using this massive, wide-ranging lockdown over almost 30 million people for testing, like an invasion of Taiwan, where there would be heavy sanctions put on China, and so that the people would have to get by on what they have. There's the CCP's stockpiling enormous amounts of grain. They have more than 50% of the world's grain stocked up. They also have some issues with some of these.
Wow.
Some of these grain silos getting lit on fire. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's and then Xi Jinping was visiting the seed manufacturers up in the north of China, I believe, to make sure that they have enough seed production, stuff like that. I mean, it sounds like he's really ramping. Xi Jinping is ramping things up for a possible Taiwan invasion.
Well, things are looking pretty good for those guys. I mean, they're sitting there. Meanwhile, everybody's all hung up or caught up in the debacle in the Ukraine, which was totally unnecessary. And they aren't. China's not spending any money on it. We are. And China's really good at letting other people fight wars, and they kind of sit off to the side and go, you know. I mean, it seems China's waging economic war more than military war, although they're preparing for military war, of course. But the Silk and Road Initiative is really nefarious, I think. Economic influence that way. They're a big player.
I
They're
found the video. I'll post it on YouTube. This is the Lao Y86 video on Xi Jinping and the recent Shanghai lockdowns and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the whole splinter net. We kind of got into that a little bit.
Uh-huh. No, what we're going to probably be doing here with the Canuck and Yankee format is that when something comes up, we'll be able to spend some time and be able to go live with it. Things like the splinter net, some of the other specialties that we've been covering, particularly NSO, Pegasus. I'm always curious about like things like the Panama Papers and big money hiding their money offshore, which we're discussing at the top of the show. Major media, how they pick stories, but that's a huge story that hardly gets covered because I think that they don't want to cover it because the same people that are doing that are also the people that probably own or control a lot of that major media. And what I'm talking to is really rich people, even people in government, hiding their assets offshore so they don't have to pay taxes. Like most people have to pay taxes, but these people with more money than we can imagine aren't paying their taxes and they're hiding it and doing things like that, which I think is really not fair. Yeah, and we've covered things like our favorite billionaires. That was a lot of fun. My guy, MBS, Mohammed bin Sadin, he just bought a yacht. It was only, I think, 150 million or something off this Russian oligarch guy. And then he threw the guy right off the boat as soon as he got it. But it's really nice. It's got a grand piano and swimming pools and everything. So, a couple football fields long. Like, why?
When was this?
Super yachts. That's the thing nowadays. Used to be jets. Now you got to have a super yacht. Its own submarines. They got helipads. They got discos. Hmm. You got one of them things, right, Tim? I mean, Yankee super yacht. I mean, mega yacht.
No.
You sold it?
No.
Oh, thought you had one. Oh, it was Paul Allen that had one. I'm sorry, I got you guys confused. Yeah, okay. I won't let that happen again. Won't confuse you with Paul Allen. Paul Allen, for those of you who don't know, is one of the founding members of Microsoft. Yay! So what's up there, Yankee? Are we done with this, or you got something more to say?
Yeah, no. I think we're up into the 5 o'clock hour. I think
that'll do it. We just want to thank everybody for been tuning in on Sundays. Like I say, we're taking a break until fall for regularly scheduled, but we're going to be having a lot of specials, which will be more fun in a lot of ways because we'll be out and about next week. Hopefully, be streaming from Missoula, Montana, and some live music and maybe some interviews. You never know. But I'm getting back on the road, so we'll be streaming. And Yankee, you still think about trying to go down to Washington and join the fray, so to speak? Go into the swamp, go cruise in the swamp, dude.
Yeah, I have plans to get that mapped out. So
I think you should do it, man. And also, you're going to the metaverse, aren't you?
eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I've been checking out. There's a VR chat.
Yeah.
Which it's a basic app. There's some people that have just the headset, and then there's people that have the full body motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like they put a suit on that can measure their leg and arm movements, and they dance and stuff like that. But I wanted to get an idea of what that scene is like, so I might take a look at that as far as, because they're doing it with live music.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see on how.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great summer. And we'll see you probably next week. And we'll, for those of you devoted people that are subscribers, followers of us on YouTube or DLive or wherever, you'll be notified. Otherwise, we'll just send up a flare and hopefully you'll know we're there. But I'm definitely going to be doing at least 1 or 2 live streams from Missoula, Montana, probably next weekend. Maybe not Sunday because I got a load of piano Sunday. I'm bringing a piano back up to Canada. My mother's piano is coming to Canada.
We'll figure it out, and we'll let everybody know during the week.
That would be great.
It's definitely going.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Everything just gets upside down this time of year with trying to schedule stuff, especially on the weekends. So, but I would imagine we will be back when the weather starts going south, so to speak, next year. Later this year, with the Canuck and Yankee 2.0. All right. God bless you. Thanks a lot for watching, and devoted listeners especially. And peace out.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
My tree.